Hi everyone, and welcome to the games I played in August. So hi everyone, welcome back to my games room. I'm the man they call Pixel Paul. Hope you're doing well. Thanks for pressing play as always. And like I said before, these are the games that I played in August 2024. So I haven't done a video like this before. I've done sort of gameplay videos with various degrees of success with those. But this time I just thought I'll show you the games that I played during last month of August and just grab them, show you, and tell you what I thought of them, really. So I haven't played quite as many games in August because I did go on holiday for 2 weeks of that month. So I probably haven't played quite as many games as I would do in a normal month. But I've played a fair few. Some of them I finished, some of them I haven't. Some of them I gave a good go and gave up on. Some of them I just tried, and some of them I've played and forgotten where I was up to in them. So yeah, I'll go through the games that I have played. So I'll start off with Nintendo Corner. Not played too many Nintendo games this month actually, but because I did go on holiday, I did take a stack of, well, not a stack, a pile of like handheld console games. So I took my 3DS, 2DS, sorry, and my PlayStation Vita, and a whole sort of pile of games that I thought, well, I'll give them a go if I've got a chance. And to be quite honest, I didn't really get a chance because the weather was gorgeous. It was really nice. I did 2 videos on that, so if you've not watched them, give them a watch. But yeah, so I didn't play too many games, but I did play a couple. So I'll show you what I played. And believe it or not, the main one that I actually ended up playing a lot was Puzzle Bobble Universe. I don't know why, but once I started on this, I couldn't stop. Yeah, Puzzle Bobble. We all know what Puzzle Bobble is basically about. Um, but yeah, it's quite addictive. And puzzle games on handheld consoles tend to be, don't they? So I played this for a good few hours actually. Mainly sort of like just before I was going to bed or something like that, just to chill out and relax. But it is quite good. I did enjoy that. So I did play Puzzle Bobble quite a bit. And then I did try Pilot Wings Resort as well. So I only picked this up, I want to say about a month, maybe 2 months ago. Um, I wasn't sure about this. Not sure about it. Of the Pilot Wings series, I prefer obviously the SNES version of Pilot Wings. I was never a huge fan of Pilot Wings 64, which this is probably a little bit more like. But I've not played enough of it yet, I don't think. So I will be giving a bit more of a go to that. One more 3DS game that I have been playing though, and this was more in the last few weeks, was Luigi's Mansion 2. So this is a game. Luigi's Mansion's great. We know Luigi's Mansion's great. It's taken me a while to get to Luigi's Mansion 2 and to pick it up. But I'm really pleased that I did because this is a cracking game. I do love Luigi's Mansion. And yeah, playing it on a handheld, I didn't know whether it would be, feel like a watered down version of it, but it's not. It feels so sort of similar to the GameCube game and even Luigi's Mansion 3. There's so many sort of similarities, and I know this got the HD remix on the Switch as well, and you can see why, because it's a really decent game. So yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2, Luigi's Mansion Dark Moon in other countries, I think it was called. I think so. But yeah, really enjoying that. Not finished it yet. I don't think I'm that far into it actually. Maybe sort of I can't think, about 10 sort of, it's done in missions, isn't it, this? So it's kind of like about 10 missions in, I think, something like that. I've done about 3 bosses, something like that anyway. But yeah, Luigi's Mansion 2, really enjoyed that. A couple more Nintendo games that I've played. So this was a game that I picked up whilst I was on holiday, Choplifter 3. And if you watch those videos, you know that I would pick that up, and I was really pleased to. Because it was part of my original collection, but I sold it on. So I was really pleased to sort of finally grab this again. I have given it another quick go just for sort of nostalgia purposes. But yeah, still a cracking game. Really like Choplifter 3. But yeah, I've not spent a huge amount of time revisiting because I've played it before and I've finished it before years and years and years ago. But yeah, nice to revisit that one. And then partly because Alien Romulus came out, I've suddenly gained a bit of a want or a need to play some Aliens games. So I did play Alien 3, and I did play this and finish it again. And yeah, of the 8 versions of Alien 3, I think this is probably the best. I do like the Game Boy Alien 3 game as well. That's just very different to this, but compared to like the Mega Drive and the NES versions, I just think this is the better version of it. And yeah, I played through it again. Took a couple of nights, but finished it, and yeah, just really enjoy this game. So Alien 3. And then one more game over here. Again, I haven't finished this game. I just gave it a very quick go. And it was RoboCop versus Terminator on the Mega Drive. So I picked this up about 3 or 4 months ago even, and just played. It's quite hard, this game. Played through maybe the first 2 or 3 levels, because it isn't the easiest game ever. But it's better than I thought it was going to be, actually. I know the SNES version came out and it got really mediocre sort of reviews back in the day. But I thought this version was alright, the Mega Drive version. Not bad at all. Quite funky music in it. Some really amazing sort of sound effects in it too, like you always get with the Mega Drive, really. But yeah, RoboCop versus Terminator was another game that I played this month. Okay, so I'm going to move on to Xbox next. And to be fair, I haven't played that much Xbox this month, or not this month, in August. Don't know why, just for some reason I haven't played that much. Yeah, I did play this one, Xbox 360, Project Slipheed. I'm not sure how you pronounce it. I had this one for a while and been meaning to give it a go. I was a little bit disappointed with it, a bit underwhelmed. I know when I bought this, I actually thought for some bizarre reason, I thought it was a bit like a JRPG or an RPG or something like that, with a sci-fi theme, probably because it's made by Square Enix. But it's not. It's basically just a space combat kind of game. And I mean, it's not terrible, it's not rubbish or anything, but I couldn't get into it. I don't know why. Maybe I need to give it another try. But yeah, it just didn't really click with me for some reason. So yeah, Project's I don't actually know how you pronounce it, but yeah, I mean, it's all right. Other people will probably like it. It just didn't grab me, that one. I think that's the only Xbox 360 game I played in August, actually. I'm sure there were a couple others, but I just can't remember. But Xbox One, so I did play. Now, this is a game that I've been playing on and off for ages, and it's quite a good game for this because you can just sort of pick it up and play it. Quite straightforward and easy to sort of just jump straight back into. And it's Recore on the Xbox One. And this was one of the original games that I sort of bought for the Xbox One last year. I've kind of been playing it on and off since then, to be honest. But I do enjoy it, but for some reason I just don't commit to it. I just play it for a little bit and then kind of forget about it for a bit. But when I do play it, I like it. So I don't know why I don't just commit to it and play it. Maybe I need to restart and just focus on it for a period of time and just get it finished and play it and enjoy it. But I do quite enjoy that Recore. I played that, and then I did give this game a quick go, Forza Horizon 3, partly because I think someone on Instagram recommended this to me, because they know I kind of like more sort of arcade racer type games or less serious racing games. And I haven't got any of the other Horizon games, so I thought I'd give it a go. And yeah, I wasn't quite expecting it to be open world. I don't know why, even though it says a masterclass in open world racing. But yeah, I wasn't expecting it to be open world. But yeah, it's not bad at all, actually. Nice graphics in it. It's very sort of swish looking. When I've looked back over reviews, this is one of the more highly rated Forza Horizon games. So yeah, I think I'll be giving this game a bit more of a go. And then one more Xbox game that I did play, but I haven't actually got it physically. I know. It's a game that was on Game Pass, and it is a Series X game, actually, but because of the cloud streaming, I was playing it via that, which wasn't perfect, but I managed. And that game was Hellblade 2: Senua's Saga, I think it's called. It's not Sacrifice, that's the first one. Senua's Saga. And yeah, so I played through that and finished it. Didn't take that long. It was not a huge game, actually. I think it's a lot shorter than Senua's Sacrifice, actually. And I did it. It's a weird game. The first game was weird, and I really loved the first game. But this game's quite different. It just feels different. The combat's been changed because you only focus on fighting one person at a time. That's a little bit different from the first one. There was an awful lot more walking, I felt, in this one. There was a lot of walking in the first game. There's a lot of sort of meandering along and listening to your own thought, or listening to her thoughts, or the various thoughts going through her head. But it felt like there was more puzzles. There's visual puzzles. And yeah, I don't know. I did enjoy the second one. I enjoyed it a lot, actually. But in comparison to the first game, it just fell a little bit short, I think. I don't know whether it was the sort of play time, the amount of time it took to finish, that kind of made me think it could have been more. So, yeah, Hellblade 2, not disappointed in it. Did enjoy it, but there's just something that stopped it from being really, really good, I think. So, which is a shame. But again, I think if you've played the first game, it's well worth trying Hellblade 2 out and giving it a look. Alright, so the last section is the PlayStation section. And yeah, probably played quite a lot of PlayStation games. Mainly PlayStation VR games, I must admit. But I've been saying that I've been playing an awful lot of PSVR recently. And where to start? I think we'll start with the PSVR, shall we? I've had to get a step because I'm too short to reach the top shelf. So let me grab some of these. Hopefully nothing's going to fall over. There's a couple more up there, but I'll grab those in a second. So one VR game that I did finish was Vader Immortal. I really enjoyed this one. I'm going to probably cover this game in my next PSVR video, so I don't want to say too much about it, but I did enjoy it, what there was of it. Yeah, decent game. I've been playing more Battlezone, again, sort of a pick up and play game, so I'm not sort of committed a huge amount of time. You just sort of dip into it now and then, but still enjoying Battlezone. I also tried Super Stardust Ultra on VR. This is quite good, actually. There's two sort of different ways to play this game. So there's almost like a very similar to sort of Battlezone mode in it. But then there is also what I would sort of class as more, well, it's more like the classic sort of version of Super Stardust. Possibly, would you call it maybe a little bit more puzzly? Whereas this sort of arcade version of it is like 3D Battlezone in a way. This is a bit more kind of like the original. It's a bit more sort of puzzly, perhaps. But yeah, it's not bad. Super Stardust VR. And I also gave this game a go. And yeah, I've not quite made my mind up on this one yet. Creed Rise to Glory. So I thought boxing on VR was a match made in heaven. But having played it for half an hour and come away like sweating buckets after it, I'm not so sure because I got my ass handed to me in this game. But it's quite good, actually. You can wander around Rocky's gym and sort of do different types of training. And then I just tried like an exhibition fight. I can't remember who. I think I must have been Rocky. And I, for some reason, decided to fight Ivan Drago. And he's up here like this. You're looking at him. And basically just, yeah, got absolutely pummeled by him a couple of times. So it's a bit of practice, I think, needed on this. Impressive to look at, though. It does look good. Yeah, I think I need to practice that a little bit more. And then a couple more VR games. So I featured this one on my last PSVR video, Drive Club VR. Enjoying that. Again, sort of just dipping into it now and then. But yeah, I like that. And then Until Dawn, Rush of Blood. Yeah, and I like this. This is really quite good. It's like an on-rail shooter. I don't know whether you class it as being in the Until Dawn kind of world necessarily, but yeah, it's quite good fun, that. Even Pixel Evie has played this game. She gave it a go, and yeah, there were screams. She didn't like it. So yeah, it's not a bad game, that one. Quite like that. But again, you can sort of just pick it up and play it and play as much as you want or play as little as you want and just have a quick blast or two for 5 or 10 minutes. But yeah, not bad. I do like that. And then the last VR game-ish. So I did play Tekken 7. So I have played Tekken 7 before in standard sort of mode, but I played it again last month in VR mode, and that's different. That's very different. So you kind of go into the fight arena with the two fighters. You control one, obviously, and you're almost just like watching over this fight happening in front of you, almost like in a position of a sort of referee. It's kind of that kind of viewpoint. So you feel very kind of immersed in this fight, even though you're controlling one of the fighters. But yeah, different. Yeah, I wasn't sure how beat 'em ups would work in VR, particularly. But yeah, and possibly this wasn't quite how I was expecting it to be. But yeah, it's Tekken, isn't it? So yeah, it's a decent game. I don't know whether Seven's the best of the series particularly, but yeah, the VR just gave it something different, and I did quite enjoy playing it. And then the last PlayStation 4 game, I'm going to save that one to the end actually, because I think that's my favourite game that I've played this month. So I'll save that one to the end. Not quite VR, but along those sort of lines, sort of gimmicky. PlayStation Move Heroes. No. Transformers Devastation. Recent pickup. I did pick this one up not that long ago. And as soon as I got home, I did crack this one open and start playing it again, because originally I think I played it on the Xbox 360. So I started the PS3 version. I'm about halfway through it, and I do love this game. I just think it's amazing. I think when I bought this and did the video for it, I think I said it's the best Transformers game ever made. And it's my favourite Transformers game ever made, but I do like the two Cybertron games as well. Probably the second one more than the first one, but for some reason I just think Transformers Devastation is just that little bit more fun. The two Cybertron games are quite dark, quite depressing. Not depressing, but quite a sad story in a way, because it's basically the devastation of that planet and the two factions leaving. Spoiler. Well, it's not really, is it? So yeah, Devastation. I really do enjoy this game, and I played about half of it now, so I'll try and finish that this month. PlayStation 2. I've played that many PlayStation 2 games, and I must admit, these two I have just sort of dabbled in, just quickly sort of played them. Space Invaders Invasion Day, that was a pleasant surprise, because it looks terrible. The front cover is really drab, really boring, but it does look quite sort of cheap and cheerful. I mean, it doesn't really show you a huge amount of the gameplay on the back cover, which is always a bit of a red flag. But when you actually play it, it's a weird kind of reimagining maybe of the original sort of Space Invaders formula, in that you are still shooting things coming down, but instead you're sort of doing it from a third person perspective and shooting basically down streets as aliens come towards you. So it's different. It's not without its faults. It's a bit rough and ready, but there's something about it, and it just surprised me. So yeah, I quite enjoyed what I've played so far of Space Invaders Invasion Day. And then this one, so this is another game. This game's bad. I'll be honest. This game's bad. But for some reason, I actually had quite a bit of fun playing it. I've not played loads of it. Dragon's Lair 3D, special edition. I'm not quite sure what makes it special. Dragon's Lair 3D. Graphically, it's pretty ropey. It sounds terrible. It doesn't control particularly well. But I couldn't help but just try and play. I must have played it for about a good hour and a half. I don't think I've been back to it since, but I didn't sort of put it back on the shelf and think, well, I'm never playing that ever again. I think I probably will go back to it at some point. So I don't want to say so bad it's good, but it, yeah, just a weird one. But I did give it a go. Dragon's Lair 3D. So I'm just hoping this pile doesn't fall over on top of me. Right. PlayStation 1. So again, because Alien Romulus was out, I was playing Alien Resurrection again. That is an amazing game for the PlayStation 1. First-person shooter with modern day controls really. I remember it got really average reviews when it first came out, and I think part of that was because of the control system, because it was so different to first person shooters on the PlayStation and sort of the N64 at that time. But no, playing it now, it just feels like you're playing a first person shooter that could have been made 5 or 6 years ago, perhaps. So yeah, Alien Resurrection, I did give that another go. Didn't finish it or anything like that, but just played through some of it again, and yeah, cracking game, that one. Coming down in value again, that one, because it did spike, but I think it is coming back down now. I also tried out Tunnel B1, which I didn't get along with as much. Hard to explain. It's almost like a bit of a tunnel shooter. Yeah, hard to explain. It was all right, but yeah, not quite sure about that one. And then this game, so I've had this a couple of months, and I actually got through quite a fair chunk of this game before I went on holiday. But for, again, like the reasons I said before, I've not gone back to it. Chase the Express on the PlayStation 1. Again, not without its faults, but it has something about it. I do quite like this game, and I was enjoying playing through it. But I don't know. It's like one of those things where you have a break and then you go back to it and you're not feeling it the same way. I don't know, but yeah, Chase the Express. I am enjoying that though. I just need to get it finished, and then the last game. So I'll go on to the last game, and this is the favourite game that I think I've played this month. PlayStation 4. Have finished it. Well, I say I finished it. I finished the story mode. There's still loads of different sort of variations and modes to go through and play through on it. But it's Streets of Rage 4, and I really enjoyed this game. I thought it was a belting game, this one. I do like scrolling beat 'em ups. I've been waiting to play this game for a while. It took me a while to sort of get this. Yeah, really, really enjoyed it. Graphically, it's kind of somewhere in between sort of like the Mega Drive games, and you know when they do these sort of scrolling beat 'em ups and they kind of make them look slightly pixelated. So I'm thinking of like the Double Dragon Gaiden game and maybe the Shredder's Revenge and that sort of thing. Maybe not Shredder's Revenge, but certainly like the Turtles Cowabunga collection. It's kind of somewhere in between that. I don't think it's quite sort of pixelated, but it does look kind of old school. Hard to explain. But musically as well, it takes a while for the music to kick in on some levels. And when the first few sort of chapters I played through, I was thinking the music's a bit of a disappointment compared to like the classic Mega Drive soundtracks. The music's just not quite going. But when you get to some of the later chapters, actually some of the music in this is sort of quite reminiscent of the Mega Drive games. Started to bob my head to some of them. So yeah, Streets of Rage 4, really enjoyed it. Did finish it. Took me a couple of nights, something like that. I'm not someone who can play hours and hours and hours. You know, I have a full-time job. I have a family. I have a little boy who plays on the PlayStation 5 till all hours. Not quite all hours. But yeah, I don't get a huge opportunity, a window to play games in there. So yeah, didn't take too long. Probably, I think I played it over about 5 or 6 nights, maybe something like that. Like I said, there's still some modes to finish in it as well, so I'll be looking to do a little bit more of those. Now, there was one game that I did. No, actually, there's a couple of games that I did forget to mention, partly because one of those games I've sold on. There was another game, and I can't think which one it was that I sold on, but there were three. I'm sure there were three PlayStation 5 games that I tried this month, and two of them I've sold. I can't remember which one of them was. One of them was Gotham Knights, which I just thought was dull as dishwater. Couldn't get on with it. Weren't impressed with it. So that went. I can't remember what the other one was. I really should have done more prep. But the other one was, and I've still got it, is Godfall. And I don't want to call it God awful because that's just cheesy, but graphically stunning. Graphically stunning. For what was a launch title, it looked absolutely amazing. And in fairness, it sounds amazing as well. It's a really amazing sort of epic, classic sort of score to it. But yeah, the story just didn't grab me. The characters didn't grab me. The gameplay didn't grab me. It was just very much hack and slash, which in some games I can sort of put up with. I can quite enjoy just switching my brain off. But For whatever reason, this was just so dull. It just seemed to be the same enemies, different colours. Oh, I know what you're saying. No, that's just Streets of Rage, isn't it? Well, sort of, but yeah, it just felt like there was a lot of potential possibly with this, but it just fell short. I just didn't care about it. It's a good job I got it really cheap, and you can pick this up really cheap. Will I keep it? I don't know. I don't think the trading on it's that great, so I'll probably just keep it in the collection. But yeah, I wasn't impressed with Godfall. Let me know in the comments if you liked it, if you thought it was decent and gets better as it goes along. Let me know in the comments. But yeah, I wasn't overly impressed with that one. So I hope you enjoyed that quick look through the games that I played in August 2024. Let me know in the comments what you've been playing. I want to know. I want to know what games you've been playing. What have you played in that lot? Have you got any thoughts on some of them? Love to know what you thought of Godfall. Have you played Streets of Rage 4? Did you like that? And yeah, what a month. Hopefully September I'll be able to play a few more games. I am playing through one now. I won't name it because you probably know what it is, to be fair, because everybody is currently playing it, or everybody who has a PlayStation 5 is playing it at the moment. So that will be in next month's video. But yeah, as far as this one's done, those are the games I played in August 2024. Thanks for watching. If you're not already subscribed, hit that subscription button. That would be appreciated. And I'll see you next time.